Hello everyone, my name is Ashwin Joglikar and I am from Resonance PCCP division. Today we are here to start with our topic, that is from your geography portion, agriculture. Name of the chapter is agriculture, and let us start this video and try and understand what this chapter is all about. So, agriculture, again, as we know, it is an age old practice which has been going on and will probably be continued as well. Introduction. The term agriculture has been derived from two Latin words, that is agri or agar meaning land and culture meaning tillage of the soil. So, agriculture thus means cultivation of land and rearing of animals. So, that in turn is agriculture. It is a primary activity, as we know from your chapter from economics, you might have learned that agriculture is one of the primary activities which produces more of the food for our consumption and other raw materials for various industries. So, that is what also explains the first topic which is in our chapter, that is what is the importance of agriculture in India. Now, nearly 2/3 of India's population is involved in agriculture or dependent on agriculture. Agriculture has been the backbone of Indian economy. Agriculture accounts for 26% of the gross domestic product, or that is the GDP, that is the contribution from the primary sector. Agriculture ensures food security for the millions and raw materials for industries. Agriculture's share in providing employment and livelihood to the population continues to be as high as 63% according to the 2001 data. Now, the factors that make India a unique country in terms of agriculture point of view. It has a vast expanse of level land, rich, it should be expanse of level land, not expense, rich soil, wide climatic variations suited for many types of crops, ample sunshine and long growing season. So, see, these are some of the qualities that make India a unique country in terms of agriculture. Type of farming practice depends on again two factors, that is one is physical factors and human factors. In physical factors you have relief, climate and location, and in human factors cultural availability, cultural background of people, availability of irrigation and agriculture practices. Now, coming on to the next topic of our discussion, that is types of farming. Now, here we will look into what kinds of farming are being practiced in India. First, we will look at the primitive subsistence farming, then intensive subsistence farming, and third part would be commercial farming, and a part of that is plantations. Let us begin with the first one, that is primitive subsistence farming. Now, primitive, as the name suggests, something which is traditionally being done. Subsistence is not a new word for us. We have studied this word subsistence in, if you can remember, class 8th also had a chapter related to agriculture. There also we studied the same concept, and even in 9th class you have a thing called subsistence crisis. Okay. So, here the farmers, they are producing on a very small piece of land and producing bare enough to meet their own requirements or needs. So, practice in few pockets of India, it is not done on a large scale. On small patches of land with the help of primitive tools like hoe, dhow and digging sticks, and the labor is provided by family or community people. Now, it is heavily dependent on monsoon because these people are cultivating on small patches of land and they do not have any sources as such to invest money. So, for irrigational purposes or other things, they are dependent completely on monsoon. Natural fertility of the soil and suitability of other environmental conditions to grow the crops. Again, kind of a slash and burn agriculture, under which farmers clear a patch of land and produce cereals and other food crops to sustain their family. When the soil fertility decreases, they move on to the another piece of land. That is why it is also known as shifting cultivation, slash and burn agriculture. Again, one question which definitely or most of the time is asked in NTSE on the names of primitive subsistence farming, that is like in India it is known as Jhuming, Dhaiya, Podu, Penda, Bevar, by different Valtre, by different names in different regions, and probably even in some of the other countries, outside countries, it is known as Roka, Milpa, Ray. So, these are asked in sometimes match the following question type. Okay, so land productivity is low as the farmer does not use fertilizer or other modern inputs. Now, next point comes as intensive subsistence farming. Now, as the word suggests, intensive, again it's practiced on a larger piece of land, but a lot of modern methods are being used, or modern farming methods are being used to get the maximum out of that land. And again it's a type of subsistence farming practiced in areas with high population pressure on land, generally nearby cities which are again going through a process of urbanization, and the people are more dependent on farming, that is which is being done in the nearby areas. So that is why on the pieces of land which in the cities or nearby cities they have to produce maximum from those required or those given areas. So practice in areas of high population, that is pressure on land. It is labor intensive, where high doses of biochemical inputs are being used, that is modern methods of farming, for obtaining higher production. The farmers continue to make or take maximum output from the limited piece of land or which they have, and again also the land is again getting lesser and lesser because of the right of inheritance, and so there is an enormous pressure on agricultural land. Commercial farming, the next topic about in types of farming is commercial farming, that is use of higher doses of modern inputs are being used. Example, HYV seeds, that we know, high yielding variety seeds, chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides. Degree of commercialization is much more of agriculture, varies from one region to another. Like for example, Odisha, a crop that is rice which is being produced will be a subsistence crop for the people in Odisha, because they have this in their diet, or is part of their staple diet. Similarly, wheat will be probably a staple diet or as a subsistence crop probably in Punjab or in regions of Rajasthan or Haryana. Now, if rice is being produced in Punjab and Haryana, that becomes a commercial crop there. Why? Because it is being produced majorly to sell or in other regions. Now, coming to the next part of it, that is plantation. On a plantation, a single crop is grown on a large area, and plantations generally contain the interface of agriculture as well as your industries. That is, most of the plantations also have industries located within their vicinity, so that things could be processed at a faster rate. For example, tea leaves, okay, as soon as the tea leaves are plucked, they have to be quickly processed so that their freshness is maintained, and that is what the complete thing is. The more expensive is because of their quality, their freshness. So therefore, they have to be processed soon. So industries will be located, processing industries for tea leaves will be located inside those plantations. So a single crop is grown on a large area, has an interface of agriculture and industry, and cover large tracts of land, and again it is quite capital intensive inputs have been used, that is a lot of capital has been pumped in with the help of migrant laborers or labourers. Tea, coffee, rubber, sugarcane, banana are some important plantation crops. A well developed network of transport and communication system as well as a market, nearby market, is also essential for these plantations. Connecting the plantation areas to processing industries and markets play an important role in the development of plantations. Now, again that is what we were referring to earlier. Jhuming, the slash and burn agriculture known as milpa in Mexico, Central America, Conuco in Venezuela, Roca in Brazil, Masole in Central Africa, Ladang in Indonesia and Rien in Vietnam. In India also it is known by different names, that is Bewar or Dhaiya, Podu or Penda, Pamadabi, then Kumari, Komon, Valre or Valtre, Khil, Kuruwa and Jhuming in various parts. Now, coming to the next topic, that is cropping pattern. Now, India has three major cropping seasons: Rabi, Kharif and Zaid. Now, Rabi crops, this should be S, CROPS, and again here it should be S, there might be a mistake, sorry for that. So crops are sown here in winter. Okay, wheat is a kind of a rabi crop that is grown or sown during the October and December and harvested during April to June. Kharif are the monsoon crops, that is your rice. Rice requires a lot of water, so therefore rice comes in the category of Kharif crop. Sown with the onset of monsoon, harvested in September to October, and Zaid is a short crop season between your other two seasons, that is practice on the sandy tracks along the river channels, and examples are watermelon, cucumbers, muskmelon. Here paddy, maize, jowar, bajra and are the some important Kharif crops, and whereas some important Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas and gram. Now areas are given. If you want, you can go through these questions and try and do a few of them. Okay. Now next we start with our major crops portion. Now first major crop that is of the majority of the people of India is rice. Now here we will be looking in points. Importance of rice is climatic conditions and production areas. Many times questions have been asked even in your board and even in your NTSE, probably it can be asked as a fill in the blanks kind of a thing, that temperature is given, rainfall is given, and probably they will ask the soil out of the options. So rice, it's important second largest producer of rice, that is India in the world after China, staple food crop of a majority of people in India. We will see it on the map also. Climatic conditions, it requires a tropical Kharif plant. Tropical, India has a tropical type of climate. Kharif plant, that is during the monsoon, and requires high temperature and high humidity. Requires high temperature, that is about 25°C, and rainfall, because during the rainy season above 100 centimeter, and in parts where there is rainfall is less, irrigation is required. Now production areas, north and northeastern India, coastal areas and the deltaic regions. Irrigation has made it possible to grow rice in areas of less rainfall such as Punjab, Haryana and western Uttar Pradesh and parts of Rajasthan. Probably you can see here the major areas are marked in green. You can see this portion and this portion, and here along the western Ghats you can see, and in the northeast side major areas of rice has been given. Okay. Moving on to our next crop, that is wheat. Now importance, again same thing, importance, climatic conditions and production areas. Second most important crop, that is after rice in India, and main food crop in the north and northwestern part of the country. Climatic conditions is, it is a rabi crop and requires a cool growing season and a bright season at the time of ripening. So that is why during the month of October to December we sow it, and then when it is harvested, that is during the month of March and April, you have a bright sunshine. Requires 50 to 75 centimeter of annual rainfall evenly distributed over the growing season. Again as we know, during the rainy season, due to the influence of the retreating monsoon, we get rainfall in the north and northwestern parts of the country. That is in locally it is known as Mahavat. So that is also good for the rabi crops. Now production areas, two important wheat growing belts or zones, the Ganga Satluj plain and the black soil region of the Deccan. Most producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan and Bihar. Now this is your major wheat producing areas of the country. Okay, yeah, you can see it. Okay, moving on to the next crop, that is millets. Are known as coarse grain, that is roughage which they add, have a very high nutritional value, and that they have been classified as jowar, bajra and ragi. Third most important crop after rice and wheat, rain fed crop mostly grown in the moist areas, and Maharashtra is the largest producer. Next, bajra grows well on sandy and shallow black soil, Rajasthan is the largest producer. Ragi, crop of dry regions, grows well on red, black and sandy and loamy soils. Karnataka is the largest producer. Next is maize, again a coarse grain, used both as fodder and food and fodder. Kharif crop, temperature required between 21° to 27° and grows well in old alluvial soil. Now you can pause this and probably you can in the comment section tell the name for this old alluvial soil, and I can give you a hint. It was mentioned in your first chapter of class 10th and also in class 9th, second chapter of geography. Okay. Major producing states are Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, pulses. Now, pulses are the dal which we eat, and because India being a majorly vegetarian country, so therefore we have more importance or source of becomes a major source for protein. So, pulses importance, that is major source of protein. India is the largest producer as well as consumer of pulses in the world. Being leguminous crop helps in the restoring fertility of the soil, needs less moisture and survive even in dry conditions. Major pulses are tur or arhar, urad, moong, masoor. Producing states are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Coming to non-food crops, rubber, equatorial crop also grown in tropical and subtropical areas. Second, requires moist and tropical or humid climate and rainfall more than 200 centimeter. So, probably you will find out that it is grown in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, where regions of high or heavy rainfall in India, and temperature about 25 degrees Celsius. India ranks 5th among the world natural rubber producers. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andaman and Garo hills of Meghalaya. Next is fiber crops. First is cotton. India, believed to be the original home of the cotton plant, is the third largest producer of cotton in the world. Cotton grows well in drier parts of the black cotton soil, also known as regar soil of the Deccan Plateau. Requires high temperature, light rainfall and almost 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine. A kharif crop requires almost 6 to 8 months to mature. And major producing states are Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. Next is jute, that is known as golden fiber, grows well on well-drained fertile soils in the floodplains. High temperature is required. West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha and Meghalaya are the major producing states, used for making gunny bags, mats, ropes, yarn, carpets. Next is food crops other than grains. The first one is sugarcane, that is main source of sugar, good, khansari and molasses. Again, when we are making sugar, these are the different forms which we obtain, and requires hot and humid climate, temperature between again 21 degree to 27 degrees Celsius, and rainfall required is between 75 to 100 centimeter. Needs a lot of manual labor in large number, and India is the second largest producer of sugarcane in the world. Major producing states are Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Moving on, next is horticulture crops. In that importance, again vegetables and other crops. India is the again largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. India is producer of tropical as well as temperate fruits, and now here some of the examples have been mentioned. The fruits, famous fruits and of the famous regions: mangoes of Maharashtra, that is Andhra Pradesh, then bananas of Kerala, pineapples of Meghalaya, apricots and walnuts of Jammu and Kashmir. India produces about 13% of world's vegetables. Oilseeds, again importance, and we have classified that groundnut and sesame. India was the second largest producer of groundnut in the world after China according to 2017. Edible, that is used for eating and used as cooking mediums. Some of these are used as raw material in the production of soap, cosmetics. Largest producer of oil seeds in India, that is covers about 12% of total cropped area. If you are talking about oil seeds, yeah. Main oil seeds produced in India are groundnut. Groundnut is the most important oil seed, accounts for almost about half of the major oil seeds. Major producing states are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Sesame or til, a rain-fed crop, kharif crop in the North India and rabi crop in the South India. Castor seed is grown both as your rabi and kharif crops. Now, among the beverage crops, that is tea, example of plantation agriculture, an important beverage crop introduced by the British in India, grows well in tropical as well as subtropical climates. Requires warm and moist free climate, and again is quite labor intensive industry. Major producing states are Assam, West Bengal. In 2017, India was the second largest producer after China. Coffee, India is known for its Arabica variety of coffee, which was again introduced through Yemen, or again by the Britishers in India, and this Arabica variety belongs to Yemen and cultivated in the Baba Budan hills. Okay, India produces about 4% of the world's coffee. Arabica variety produced in the country is in great demand all over the world. Now, next topic is your just you can go through this horticulture crops 2017, second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world after China. Okay, now today we will do a chapter till here, and in the next class probably we will take up the few other things which are left in the chapter. Okay, thank you so much.